It's 1 in the morning, and I was thinking about possibly not making this video this year because I'm really busy tomorrow, and I tried to film this earlier and the lighting wasn't very good, and I wasn't very coherent, and it wasn't even in focus. But then I realized the lighting has never been good in any of my videos, so here we are at 1 a.m. making this, because why not? What else am I gonna do? Get rest? I'm so sick and my voice is just shot to hell. So, hi, my name is Eden. There's only one ongoing series that has ever taken place on this channel, and it's called On Being, where I reflect on my year of personal development and growth. This year being On Being 18, because tomorrow I'm turning 19 years old. Let's talk about being 18 years old in 2016. Because 2016, right, sucked. Everyone knows that 2016 sucked. And it was no different for me. I was actually super stoked to vote. I've been stoked to vote since I don't know, since I first figured out that I was gonna be 18 during an election. It turns out that the first election I voted in was, being 18, I feel like had just no direction whatsoever, and now that I've been out of high school and been on my own, sort of, for the last 6 months, I have more of an idea of what I want to do with my life. And now that the whole government is against me and against my friends, I have a lot more of an excuse to thrive. When I turned 18, the day of my birthday, there was no school because there was a bomb threat. And I didn't find out until after I'd finished getting ready, and I really hate waking up for school. What happened in my senior year of high school was I finally figured out that I lived like 5 minutes away from where I go to school, and I could just wake up 10 minutes before the last bell rang and still make it on time. So that's what I would do, and I like never wore makeup, and if I did wear makeup I would just put it on during my first period. I dressed like garbage and I didn't care. On my 18th birthday I woke up pretty early and I got like all dolled up. I wore like a full face of makeup, and then my dad called me, or like was calling me, and I just wasn't answering the phone, and he told me that school was canceled because of the bomb threat. And I was like, oh, that's so funny. That is really fun. Part of that just like made me lose all hope in ever putting effort into my appearance ever again. So I am sort of like a cusp kid. I could have graduated a year earlier, but if I had graduated a year earlier I would have been really young for my grade. So I was old for my grade, I guess, technically. Because I was aware that I was one of the few that was 18 in my grade or at my school or whatever, I had this major superiority complex. Like, I was like, oh my god, I am an adult. I am above literally everyone else who's here. I don't even know why I'm wasting my time. I was reading my old diary. I was actually a sociopath. I was so angry at the world, and I was sort of aware of that, but I didn't really realize the extent until today. Being in high school, that was all about like no personal growth and no personal development whatsoever, because I was always making excuses for myself. I was like, oh, I'm a teenager, you know, I'm in high school, like I can be immature, I can afford to be immature. And so because I felt like I looked like I was in high school, and I knew I was in high school and I was 18, I had no reason to like develop myself personally or to like be nice to people. I was super mean. I feel a lot better now that I'm not in that sort of like cyclical, like damaging thinking. I remember I was texting this one person who I didn't go to school with, this boy that I had a crush on, and I was like, I like texting you during class because it reminds me that there is something happening outside of whatever 1 mile radius, because when you're in high school it just feels like the end of the world. It's really hard to see a future when all you know is standardized testing and like some old white dude setting out all of your tasks for you every single day, every single hour, every week, for all of your life. I was talking to a friend the other day about how when you're in high school you really have no concept of like what life is even about, because everything is set out for you. Like, you think you're independent and you think you have some sort of autonomy, but you really don't. I mean, like, I'm not even paying my own bills. I hardly buy gas for my car. Like, I pay maybe a quarter of like my car insurance. This isn't even adulthood, in my opinion. Like, this is like adulthood light, and yet still it is so vastly different from high school. I'm learning a lot about empathy. It's best to have open conversations with people and to be empathetic with people, and not to go into a conversation thinking that you're going to change someone's mind or change someone's worldview. I didn't realize that when I was like being this superior, like, god teenager thing, I was having like an impact on, like, very minor, but like I was having definitely an impact on like people's perceptions of me, of feminists. I'm not trying to tell anyone what to do, but I'm just within myself trying to be a more empathetic person, a more caring person, a more kind person. 19 is a nothing year, you know, like you can't even really do anything when you're 18. I am pretty stoked about 2017. I would say that it can't get worse than this, but of course it can get worse than this. In every single On Being video, I always talk about how I'm terrified of driving, but actually I'm like one of my few friends that loves driving. My driver's license is my social life, and I have no idea how I did anything at all whatsoever without a driver's license. I think that's been the year for me. Oh, one other thing. I'm in a band. We're great. We're called the Levens, and we're playing a comeback show on December 21st at junior high. Rhiannon is gonna be there. She's gonna do poetry. Another friend band in LA is going to be playing music as well. They're called Lily. Yeah, it'll be fun times. There will be info in the description. Thank you so much. Till next time. Goodbye!